You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's 70 on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you in a Let's Play episode of Moonlight Castle, Dylan's Path. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. I could have said something before you started the explanation, and I could have been more patient. Despite what he said, I still felt things weren't quite evened out. I couldn't chuck away the feeling of wanting to do something to make it up to him. I suppose, but still, Clyde cut in as he took the clean dish I had just finished washing and stacked it on the side. I'm glad you two talked it out. It was just a misunderstanding. We're all influenced by emotions. It happens sometimes. You may go now. The hardest part is done. Please let me do the rest. I dropped the tools in the sink and stepped away. Soon Clyde did the same, and then the two of us headed for the door. As I was exiting the kitchen, I gave Russell a reminder to join us once he was done with the cleaning. We're gonna have a good time. Please try to be fast, okay? As I returned to the front, I took a look around the place, and it seemed everyone was there. They were talking in small groups and mostly minding their own business. Ryan was sitting with Patrice, and I assumed that the bear was waiting for me to come back. How did it go? I want to hear the bad part first. You'll be disappointed because there isn't any. That's good to hear. Where's Russell? My cup is empty. I need a refill. Patrice raised the cup toward me, and I could smell the beer that used to be in there. We're getting ready to leave. Save it for the real party. The bear gently lowered the tiger's arm and then stood up himself. I'm gonna check our rental van. Meet me outside when you're ready to go. Wait! I tugged his shirt, making him turn around and face me. Are you feeling better? He cracked a smile and patted my head. I am. No worries. I was just tired. Nothing but a few drinks and a chat with my friends couldn't fix. We're ready to go whenever. The bear then proceeded to wobble away and headed for the van. He's so carefree sometimes. Makes me jealous. It's just that some of us just think too much. Well, I guess some things are just hard to let go. That's a can of worms I don't want to be bothered with at the moment. Sorry. By the way, Dylan was looking for you. I had an awkward laugh. That was a can of worms that I didn't want to deal with at the moment. Really? That guy pisses me off so much. I was worried for him, and I tried to ask him what happened, yet he barely acknowledged me. He didn't even bother to answer me, and instead he just asked me where you were. And when I told him that you were cooking stuff in the kitchen, he just turned around and left. Maybe he was having a bad day? I don't know. Usually he tells me what's on his mind, but today's different. Something must have happened. I can see it, and he's purposefully hiding it from me. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes I don't open up to everyone either. But he just doesn't talk at all. He holds everything and keeps it to himself, bottling it up, and then he gets mood swings because of it. Repressing feelings like that all the time isn't healthy, and I was only trying to help, hoping that he'd just loosen up. Patrice stared at the empty cup and sighed. The tiger definitely wanted another drink, but the barista just wasn't there. Joel, please, do me a favor and check on Dylan later. You must have caught his attention or something since he was looking for you specifically. Maybe you can be the one to relieve his stress. Hearing that, I felt even more guilty. I was convinced that the reason Dylan was mad was me, and I didn't have the courage to mention that to Patrice. I'll try. Thanks, I owe you one. I really could do nothing but try, though. Okay. Blake approached us from behind. The wolf was checking on Patrice, who appeared to be almost melting on the counter. Are you ready to go? We're heading out. The tiger pushed himself up and yawned. It looked like someone was ready to sleep in the van. What about Clyde and Liam? Clyde is checking on Russell, and Liam is waiting outside. I'm not sure if Ryan is busy, but I'm going to need some help loading our stuff. As the wolf finished saying that, the three of us headed outside together. Coming out of the shop, I spotted Ryan and Dylan talking with each other. I didn't really hear their conversation, though, and there was a bike parked next to the reptile. You rode that here? Yes. Why? Didn't we agree on using the van? You're just going to leave your bike there? No, I'll ride it. Then, as the crocodile saw me, he looked directly into my eyes and pointed his finger at my face. And you're coming with me on the bike. What? I took a step back, as I didn't expect to hear such a demand, especially when I thought that he was mad at me. Also, it seemed that what he'd said surprised everyone else, too. I saw Ryan give me a look as if waiting for an explanation. However, even without an answer from me, the bear soon realized from my freaked-out expression that I, too, had no idea what was going on. Oh, Dylan, all of us planned this so that we could bond with each other during the ride and become closer friends. If you don't join us in the van, then you'll miss out on it, and you'll also deny Joel the opportunity to better know the others. Hearing that, the reptile faced me again. Maybe he was trying to hear what I thought of what Ryan had said. Ryan is right. I think your bike is cool, but maybe we can ride it some other time? Whatever. Then you'll have to drive us back here later. This place is our rendezvous anyway. I can let you keep the bike inside where it's safer if you prefer that. The bull appeared. He was holding a key to a keychain in a bag, and promptly he handed over the ladder to Ryan. Russell, where have you been? I was busy closing up the place and talking with the owner. Nothing to worry about. Dylan grunted and walked away. I couldn't help thinking that he might still be mad at me. Wait! I need your help to lift the grill! Ryan chased after Dylan while pushing along some of the heavy equipment, and Russell followed the bear shortly afterwards as he carried the supplies that he prepared earlier. Yo, Joel, this is serious! I stayed quiet as I was turned around by Patrice so that I faced him. I've heard from a source that Dylan has a bike, but I've never seen it until now. He's never mentioned anything about the bike himself, and I've heard that nobody's ever joined him on a ride. This is insane, Joel. Do you know what this means? That he's a very private person? I was only joking, but the look on his face suggested he didn't really appreciate it. Don't be stupid! Remember what I said earlier? He's 100% into you! So, you're just analyzing your romantic rival now. I couldn't help but laughing at what Liam said, and there was no way I could take that seriously. Dylan? Romantic? No way! Are we talking about the same crocodile? I agree with Joel. Can you really imagine Dylan flirting? I'm afraid that he might throw the gifts he bought for the person at the person themselves if he ever saw them hesitate. All of us shared a chuckle as we thought that it was a likely scenario. Even if that's the case, I still think that he should be praised for the effort. After all, time is needed for people to change and become accustomed to new scenarios. Dylan won't change. He's always been this way. He demands things and takes them without ever asking. He never returns anything unless it's convenient. That's just the way you labeled him. People can grow and improve, so long as there's a desire to become a better person. I'm telling you that he doesn't want to change. Play with fire all you want, but don't come crying to me when you get burned. I think this will be a good opportunity to learn for both you and me, then. I'll try my best to show you the importance of love and compassion. Sure, I can't wait to see Dylan show you his love and compassion once a line is crossed. There'll be no crossed line. Clyde began to walk, most likely to the van, and Liam just went in the opposite direction. Where's that idiot going? Let me go and fetch him, otherwise we'll never get going. I want my beer! Blake and I watched the three of them go, and I wondered if they were all going to be okay. I heaved a sigh, and it seemed this trip was going to be more chaotic than I thought. The kind of hanging out I had in mind was everyone having a peaceful interaction at a wholesome time, rather than whatever this was. The wolf caught on to my disappointment and promptly gave me a pat on the back. I think it's good that Clyde has some competition now. He was never allowed to be a teen in the first place. Getting to meet and interact with someone as stubborn and closed-minded as Liam sure has given him the opportunity to rediscover a part of himself he'd locked away. I gave him a raised eyebrow. You sound like a babysitter. Don't you think you're looking after him a little too much? Don't forget about yourself, too. Damn, you murdered me. To be honest, I'm kinda keeping an eye on everyone, although I admit it's mostly Clyde. This way you won't enjoy the party at all. Who said that I won't? I gave him a judgmental stare. I'm not too keen on the social interaction, but trust me that there's something I'm looking forward to. The wolf raised his head and gazed upon the sky, which was slowly fading from orange into blue. I'm better at talking with the stars than with the people. You're making it hard for me to disagree with that. Still, these aren't people, they're our friends. I know, I never said that I was going to look at the stars alone. He flipped open his bag, and inside it was a smaller bag that contained a long cylindrical object. Wow, this is... I took the item and examined it with excitement. It was my first time holding a telescope, and I immediately pointed it around to look at things like a pirate. Expensive. Please be very careful with that. It's a precious gift to carry with me all the time. The description brought me back to my senses, and I promptly returned the item to him. Yes, of course, I won't want to break that. Blake cleaned the lens with a small piece of cloth and gently slid the telescope back into his bag. We can take turns looking through it, and I can teach you guys a little something about the constellations, my favorite. That sounds exciting, I can't wait! Same, I hope we find a small hill or somewhere high where we can get a good view of the sky. Oh, so that's why you never fought against Liam's idea about exploration. Oops, I've been caught. He smiled, and for some reason my mind was at peace again. It was nice to have someone we could talk with about our worries. Are you two coming? Dylan wants us to go already, and he's threatening me with his bike. Ryan shouted from the van, and he was trying his best to keep the crocodile's hand away from the horn. On our way! I looked inside the van and realized that everyone was already seated, as Blake had taken the last remaining spot in the back and placed himself between Clyde and Liam. Ryan patted the front seat next to the driver's seat and shot me a giggle. One second, y'all. He planned this all along, hadn't he? Just like every morning, huh? This time is different. We're going somewhere fun rather than willingly getting locked up in a glorified prison called school. Start the car, damn it. Okay, God, stop yelling already. Once Ryan finished double-checking everything, our trip began. Patrice, you know the way, right? Yep, been there a couple times, got the path memorized. The striped feline became our pseudo-GPS for most of the ride, and I didn't get to talk much with Ryan, as the bear's focus was on following the tiger's directions. Also, I thought it'd be difficult to talk about certain people without them overhearing, so I decided to just make myself comfortable in the seat and get some rest. I spent time thinking about the things that I'd done today and realized just how much I'd done. There was just so much interaction with everyone. And then, soon after that, my body just collapsed. I was exhausted, more than I'd realized. I'd taken so many steps out of my comfort zone just for the day, and I was hitting my limit. The next thing I knew as I regained consciousness was that I was still in the seat, but the car had stopped. Did we arrive? My question was aimed mostly at Ryan, but anyone could have answered it. I felt lethargic. Without opening my eyes, I stretched and failed to stifle a yawn. Ryan? It was quiet. Unusual, considering that we were a large group and how loud everyone was in the beginning. I opened my eyes and it dawned on me that I was the only one left in the car. They probably didn't want me to wake me up, and I wanted to give me space. Guys? I raised my voice, hoping to hear a reply or anything. My heart started to race, and weird thoughts began to form in my head as drowsiness was making me irrational. The fact that I was left alone didn't help either. Guys? I shouted again, louder this time, and moved myself out of the van. Why are you yelling? I heard you the first time. Dylan grunted. He seemed annoyed by the loud noise I made. You should have answered me then. I was panicking. It wasn't the reptile's fault, though. There was no way the crocodile could have known that this dumb dog was going to freak out the moment he woke up. After a brief pause to collect my thoughts, I calmed down. You're overreacting. I was standing here waiting for you. Whatever. I bit my tongue before I had a chance to escalate. There was no one to blame, and I just had to shove aside my ego, however difficult that was. Where is everyone? My question was left unanswered as the crocodile simply locked the car and began to walk into the forest without replying to me. He turned around to see if I was coming, and I had no choice but to follow him. I hoped that everyone was waiting for us at the end of this trail. I wanted to talk with you. It was weird to see how calm he was while saying that. And if he wasn't mad and if he really wanted to talk, then why didn't he answer what I just asked? I don't want to talk. Look who's talking. I gave him no further response, and I was this close to losing my cool. What? Was it not obvious? Ryan said you looked tired, and he asked us to leave you alone and let you sleep. So, are they further in the forest and preparing dinner? Yes. Did you really need to ask? Why are you being so insistent that I say it out loud? I was worried. I woke up alone in a place I don't know, and the only thing I needed was someone who could reassure me and tell me what was going on. But all you did was give me the brush off. Fine. If something like that happens again, I'll talk. You done? Yes. It felt as if time hadn't passed at all since I woke up. I was still groggy, and I could feel the panic that I had. I wanted to talk with you about what you did this morning. Sorry about that. I don't usually raise my voice, yet I've done it twice already. Keep doing it. What? I had probably the most puzzled look on my face right now. What Dylan had said caught me completely off guard. You heard me. Just do it. Like, now? What do you want me to do? Scream? Everything about this was weird. I could see him struggling to express what he really wanted, and I myself was also having a really difficult time trying to understand what he said. He yelled at me because I was doing something stupid. Do it again next time. So he wanted to be scolded? That was how I understood it. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all I do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Tresm Guy. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names and credits, get access to all of our not safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!